now the Mossad run all of them. Make it make sense to her.
Right? Because they were the Knights of Templar. They the Knights of Templar. They worldwide. The Mossad, the CIA, all of them the Knights of Templar. I'm telling you that huh?
Yeah. So when you go back and watch the old movies, right? All of the spies got to get a paper every time they. Where's the newspaper? They always go into the paper stand. Go back to Mel Gibson played in Conspiracy Theory. All his information was codes that was in the newspaper. You gotta remember, Mockingbird Media is when CIA infiltrated the media for purposes of propaganda in order to steer narratives in mainstream media.
And Hollywood.
Yeah, that's all part of the Mockingbird. That's what Operation Mockingbird was taking over Hollywood.
Yep.
Hollywood now is responsible for putting out the news.
Right.
Now, if you take a picture of some of them people on the movies that's getting shot, that look more real than the real shooters.
Right.
Right? So, now you got people that slows down video, frame by frame review it, anomaly searching, because they know there's something, they don't know what's wrong, but they know something not right. And so they start snooping. Right?
Right.
And who is Snoopy?
Yeah, right.
That's Charlie Brown's dog. Right? Who is Charlie Brown? The Brown clan. Charlie Ward. What is a ward? That's the person that's in your care if you their security. See the circles that is running?
Right.
Because it's everything flips off something else. So you got namesake, then you got numerology. When I seen Charlie Kirk get shot, first thing I did was Captain Kirk, Star Trek Enterprise. What's his birthday? And went to the internet and found it. I was like, holy shit, this is murder by numbers again.
Look, it's funny that you say that because one of the shout out the brother Randy Christie, because he sent me a picture of Trump doing a Masonic the Lions grip with this dude Charlie Kirk. They was doing the Lion. I got a picture of them. I should have loaded it up, but I got a picture of them doing the Masonic handshake. So I'm like, yeah, now you say about the 322, the 33, it's all connected. Because look, you know what Dr. Ben said? He said they stole 11 tablets out of ancient Kemet. And we know we can debate where ancient Kemet is. We know now, right? But 22, and he said they stole 22 tablets. They stole 11 tablets to create the York rights, 22 tablets to create the Scottish rights. And it's funny that you bring up the 22, the 33, and then the 322 is all like it's all Masonic skull and bones connections with this whole setup.
Every secret society is connected. Every secret society, the good ones and the bad ones.
Go ahead.
The only reason you got bad ones because you had bad people that got inducted into the good ones at one point and decided they was going to take over and use it for clandestine conquest. Okay, now remember, we approaching the fall equinox.
Go ahead.
Not equinox. It's not called equinox. Yes, it is. It's the equinox because the summer solstice, winter solstice, spring equinox, fall equinox. Right? That's a quarter roll.
Go ahead.
Because you got 4 seasons.
Go ahead.
So an equinox is a quarter, and the solstice is a half, depending on where you count from originally. Right? So we coming up on the fall equinox. Today 9/11, right? Quiet, but it's still tracing things that's happened yesterday.
Right.
Right. So at the same time that Charles Kirk gets shot, Israel is simultaneously bombing multiple countries at the same time.
Right.
How do you minimize the news coverage in America to the people if you want to bomb 7 countries and bring America into it? You got to dumb down the people. So you got to give them a red herring, give them something else to talk about. We so busy talking about Charles Kirk, we ain't talking about the massive bombings of multiple countries. Remember, Israel stayed for last.
Right.
Right? And Trump posturing like he with them, but he done already told y'all Israel can't be trusted. He don't trust them. He said it out his mouth. He said, Natty Boy can't be trusted. Because when they told him don't bomb Iran, he went and turned around and pushed the button and bombed Iran. Right? So, the next thing is to destabilize the Persian government, which we call Iran. That's Persia. Right? Destabilize Persia or change the regime to a favorable regime. Take in-law children out of control and put icky kids in there, basically.
Pretty much.
Right, because you got to change another guard. Now, while that's going on, they got to steer the narrative in the minds of the American people. We already watching them going through Illinois with massive amounts of military vehicles. But the people keep thinking that they coming for them. They coming to secure the major cities because of the changing of the guard.
Right.
I feel for the children to think that they switches is more powerful than that shit that the U.S. military got. They finna fuck around and find out.
Hey, we got them videos if you want to roll one of the clips and get in on it.
Whenever you ready, Elder.
All right, we'll roll that first one then and then do the commentary. Let's get it cracking, y'all. Hit that like, y'all. And expose them a while back. We ain't heard from her since. She said that she worked there for years and found out that they was running fraud.
Right, but now this had to be part of disclosure. People didn't believe that they wasn't supposed to pay taxes unless they volunteered, because of the threat of force that came with what they call it tax fraud. All taxes are fraud by the nature of what they do. Remember, the Declaration of Independence clearly say no taxation without representation. If we go by the representation, the only people that's supposed to be paying taxes are the ones who came from Europe during the 17, 18, 1900s. But we ain't never been represented as the organic original people in relation to their tax codes. We don't got no dog in that fight. So every one of us that they've been taxing, it's been a constructed fraud. That's why she bring up the RICO. RICO require you to meet the elements of conspiracy, and then you also have to meet the definition of racketeering. So it's not easy to prove a RICO case. There's too many points of verification. Most lawyers don't take it point for point. It's 5 elements alone to conspiracy, right? So if it's 5 elements to conspiracy, how many of them? And then conspiracy is the first thing that got to be proven in order to prove racketeering, right? So in racketeering is when you organize extortion rings, pay to play deals and stuff like that, right? So you got to prove the conspiracy first, then you got to tie the conspiracy to an illegal activity of an ongoing criminal enterprise in order to make a RICO stand on his feet. That's why Puffy didn't get his RICO. They didn't convict him of RICO. they convicted him of lesser charges. They say if you throw enough shit at the wall, something gonna stick. That's the prosecutor's mentality. If you watch the original Law and Order, they was always scheming on what laws been passed that they can use to add on to the charges to make sure this person don't get away. They were showing us the whole time in theater.
I love that show. I love that show.
Go all the way back to Perry Mason.
Yeah.
Perry Mason give you more actual law than you could possibly imagine. You know, back then people used to take what they got off Perry Mason and research cases.
That's fine. I'm gonna go check that out. I watch Force 48. Like I like logs like Force 48, all the first 48s, and then like Law and Order. That's my favorite. Like that's my favorite type of shows. Like cowboy.
CSI, Las Vegas, all that.
Yeah, I watch all of them.
They show you the inner workings of investigations.
Right.
Now, if somebody watched that all the time, like they used to have women that used to read sleuth novels, Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew type stuff, right?
Right.
And then from that, their brain become calibrated to unlock investigations.
Right.
So you had women back in the day that they used to call in and look at the paperwork to see what they was missing. They was just sleuth readers. They was just so good at it that they would call in with tips so much that they would end up being hired as the advisor to the police, and they would come in using their witness intuition tied in with their understanding of investigation from sleuth novels.
Yeah, it's a show like that took place in California that they had to cancel it.
Yeah, they got one out now. I forgot what the name of it is, but I think it come on like Tubi or something. But the lady, she not a police officer, but they keep having her solving all their cases.
Yeah,
same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, so this is my question about the IRS. We know that they're the Inquisition Revenue Services collected for the popes of Rome and the crown, right? So now they make us volunteer. Like when we go get a job, right? They say, "Oh, you got to sign these forms in order to get the job, so we can start paying you." So it's like you automatically got to agree to their contracts of because they said they started paying tax after when they had the war. What is World War I? They started
World War II.
World War II, right?
Remember, because
go ahead.
World War I was right around the time of the establishment of the Federal Reserve and the Internal Revenue Act.
Okay.
But taxing during war is called a war tax.
Yeah, war tax.
You got to be at war in order to institute a war tax. This is what they did in the American Revolution. They used war bonds sold to the people, stock in the government, in order to be able to finance a military. Right? So once they do that, okay, now they got some money to use to fight. Remember, you can't go to war and make money. They're not compatible.
Right.
But if you watch America, find a 20-year stretch where America didn't have some type of military operation active and hot.
Right.
Because if you haven't been in a war in 20 years, that kills your war tax claim. So every 10, 15 years, America's in somebody's business.
Dang.
Keep the war tax going. But the income tax didn't really hit us hard until after 1933. Contemporary with the rise of World War II, when they took us off the gold standard and put us on the fiat. Right?
102.
Then they came with House Bill, I think it was 191.
192. House Resolution 192, 6107, Executive Order by Franklin D. Roosevelt.
right, which said everybody must turn in their gold.
Yeah.
Right. And then the Senate bill, I think it was Senate Bill 191, declared America bankrupt. That's when they declared the people hostile, and we was at war with the people.
Yeah, enemies of the state. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We went over that in prior classes. For anybody that want to go back, we discussed that the American government corporation had waged war against the people. But what we don't know and we don't always connect is when they say the people, every original tribal name translates into modern English as the folks or the people.
Mm-hmm.
It's either kinfolk or the people. And this is how your gangs in Chicago end up being divided along folks and people. We got a kind of government since
so the arrest.
You cut out, Elder. You was glitching for a minute.
Okay, I'm back. I'm good now.
Yeah.
I'm glitching now.
No, you good now. You good now.
Hey, so we're all like we leading up to the point where what if these guys got the heck out of town? Like they can't. Like, is there no place they can hide? You know, these Obamas and these Clintons. You know, they when they Jeffrey Epstein's got a $70 million apartment that they got on the market now up in New York. And in this apartment, they found two photos. One of the photos is of Bill Clinton in Monica Lewinsky's dress in her heels, the one that he got the stain on. They got a picture of him in that dress. And then he got another picture with George W. Bush flying a paper plane into the Twin Towers. George W. Bush Jr.
I don't think that was Monica Lewinsky's dress because she had a dark dress and that one is like baby blue that Bill Clinton got on. But
it's like a dark blue.
Yeah, but it's like royal blue, the color that Clinton wearing. But the whole thing about him in the dress sitting in that chair goes more to his sexual appetite.
Yeah, right. Feel you. Go ahead.
You know, the paintings are parodies. You know, so they say Hillary wear the pants in the house. So you know who they gonna put the dress on.
Right.
Right. Now, in that last clip, you notice they mentioned the continuity of government.
Go ahead.
And they said that the continuity of government was activated under Trump under the first administration, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, remember, Trump the only president in the history of the country that came out with the top generals of all branches of the military. In his speech, he said, "We're not here to transfer power from one political faction to another, but to return the power from Washington, D.C. back to we, the people."
Go ahead.
We, the people, is a tribal slogan that the chiefs would use when meeting each other to know we was on the same team, and that's how they exploited it.
Uh-huh.
So when they translated it into English, it come out as we the people, but we were saying it in the tribal tongue.
Go ahead.
So now they use it in their English writings to manipulate our subconscious. We remember we the people.
Right.
It's like saying we the tribes, we the clans, we the families, we the ones.
Yep.
Right? Now, at the same time, this continuity of government taking place, they allowing the deep state to make moves because they already in check.
Right.
But every move that they move, they get tighter and tighter locked in to their position to the point where they won't be able to make another move.
Right.
Right. So the deep state don't have no more moves, but the king got one more move. Right. So when we finally rescue the king, it requires the efforts of the queen. So when you're looking at the continuity of government process, they have a means of communicating. This what I be reading. It's called um, spy language. It's coded spy language. But as a native wind talker, we understand code so well that we can read nature when the wind blow, when the feathers ruffle, when the leaves run through, when the birds flying, when the birds chirping, when the dogs barking. All that stuff means something to a code talker, a tribal code talker.
Right.
But it don't mean something to everybody. Right now, we have to create a codex to translate what is it saying, and then we use that codex to mirror what the government is doing, and then the wind talker can read from nature everything they doing because of the butterfly effect.
Mm-hmm.
The butterfly effect triggers a Mandela effect.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when I've been telling everybody we under continuity of government, I have heard nobody else telling the people that we was going through a continuity of government transfer of power and where to find the documentation to be able to follow the pattern. Right? I haven't heard nobody else say it. Nobody even talks about continuity of government but Rod Hayes, because he half crazy. Rod the madman. Come on the internet with his hair all on his head, looking all disheveled. But he telling the people everything they need to know, but it might not be everything they understand why he's saying it. Right? So we deliver the message to the people in order for it to get out. We try to break the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
The algorithm determines the flow of the collective conscious, and what they search for, it tells the system how deeply they entrenched in the illusion versus how deeply they see it through it. And the goal is to wake us all up, all of the ones that's supposed to be awake.
Right.
And they know by the number that's supposed to be awake in the algorithm flow, how many of the awakened ones has been activated. Because what comes next on the algorithm determines who wakes up next. Because they're going to come with a specific insight that's tailored to who they are as a person, and they've got to know themselves well enough to know that if I feel this way about it, it got to mean this is the only one thing it can mean.
Right.
And then they're able to tell people, this is how you find it, and this is how you get your receipts. And with the aid of the internet, you can access receipts at a faster pace. I'm going to give you an example. Maybe it's this wrong.
Hey, Rod, it's funny that you sprang up the internet and all that because they keeping this on the wraps, but Africa just cut, I think it's America off today, or it's coming up here, and they setting up their own search engine and internet in Africa now.
Actually, it's Africa. It's most of the BRICS nations.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
We talked about this in the last one receipt drop we did.
Mm-hmm.
They took 1 point something billion people in Africa and Asia has been dropped from the Google algorithm.
Yeah.
Now remember, the BRICS nations is covering in that territory.
That's right.
And that's the arising of the new systems, the gold-backed systems. Now they damming the dollar back home. You get to see it by the sudden disruption of the algorithms of Google by 1 point some billion people dropping off.
That's almost like one. That's like almost. That's a lot of percentage compared to 7 billion people on the planet, like 8 billion people.
Yeah. So If it's 8 billion people in a billion, that's 8% of the world's population.
2 billion
people. 10% of the world's population.
No, that's more than
everybody in the world not using the internet. That's what's crazy. So you look at it again, you say out of the 8 point, or the number been fluctuating. So out of the 8 billion people, how many of them have internet access?
Then
that's going to drastically reduce the number to a little over about 3 billion people in the world.
Right.
Now, when you take 1 billion people off that, right, that's a major blow.
Yeah.
That's a third of the people gone now.
Yeah.
Right. Mathematically, if it was an even 3 billion, you took an even 1 billion off, that's 33.33.
Yeah.
%. Look at the numbers. Murder by numbers. So we looking at all of this stuff is shifting. Now remember, we still got 3-Eye Atlas coming in, right? Which now they got another set that's coming with 3 ships. They got Harvard scientists telling us that these are alien crafts.
Yeah.
Right. Now they also having a skirmish with Venezuela. Right, for bombing a boat that they said was carrying drugs.
Ain't Harvard what Skull and Bones is?
Who?
Is it Harvard? I'm thinking about Yale. Is it Yale? That's what it is. Skull and Bones.
Yeah. So Venezuela takes us back to wrestling. I got a post on my Instagram page about a couple months ago about the rise of the Queen of the South. So you got Stephanie McClure in wrestling following the championship run of Rhea Ripley from Australia. Right? The symbol that you see on the post that I put up is a smiley face with a point in Australia and a point in Brazil. It's actually an airplane path. Then you got Venezuela caught up in this, and Stephanie McCurry from Venezuela or Argentina, which is right next to Venezuela, and this is the rise of the Queen of the South. But there can't be a rise without the attention of the people in order to collapse the wave into the particle, to pay attention to the geography so that they can draw energy to the area to move us forward. So they use the cover of war. And you got to remember, Sun Tzu say all war, not some war. All war is based on deception, which is the ability to give you an illusion, but it's all to draw your attention to a location, a geographical mark. The last one we did, we had a lot of people asking me about Australia. When you put that Australian video up, it clarified a lot of that for the ones that's watching, right? To know that this is really the tribes of the earth reclaiming earth back from the tribes that ain't from the earth.
Right.
That's why their God didn't have nowhere for them to be on earth, because they didn't belong on earth.
Right.
Right? So we got the report about a week and a half ago that they only got little hot pockets of them left here and there, because they done got rid of the majority of them as off-world. We talking about the Enlil family that was concealed in caverns under the earth.
Right.
Right. Some of them wasn't involved in the stuff that was going on the earth, but the ones that was, they got a special place on earth to be dealt with by Earthborn.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. But they little minions, right? They lesser affiliates that was benefiting from their reign about to feel the wrath at the end. Right? Because they gonna save some scraps for the dogs to eat. This is for my dogs. This is for my dog. Right.
Let's go to the next one. Let's talk about prophecies for a second. It ties into what he was just saying.
Mm-hmm.
If you go with the Bible says that the prophet, it goes into Deuteronomy, but they say, "Oh, this prophet from God." If we can get into that. But when I went to go look up I looked up in the NBA to see is any player that never missed a shot, and it was no player that never missed a shot, and there was only one player that had 1% accuracy, and his name was Ahmed. Right, and I thought about Muhammad. Right, he only shot one shot his whole career, and he hit that one shot. He was 100%. It was only one guy. Then I looked up how many people in the NBA, the National Baseball League that never struck out. Everybody struck out. It was nobody ever went to the league that never got struck out. So, and no quarterback in the NFL is 100% accurate. So, I guess this brings to my next point. And not to add to that, Babe Ruth, the same year, I think it was 1921, where he had the most home runs in that year. 1923, I think it was. He also had the most strikeouts in that same year. You know what I'm saying? But this is my question: are all prophecies 100% accurate? Are they subject to change? Or is there some stipulate? Because I don't know nobody that's 100% accurate in life. You gonna people make Go ahead.
Okay, when you're talking about prophecies, first of all, who giving this prophecy? These not prophecies. The reason why they look so accurate is because they're not prophecies. They are plans, schematics, blueprints with markers to let you know what part of the conquest has been successfully completed. When you following the prophecies, you following the plans of the one who wrote the plan. But it's never the person they told you it was. Like, they give Albert Pike the credit for Morals and Dogma.